of the Bigdei Kahuna mentioned in this week's parsha is the ephod, which was an apron that had two shoulder straps that held it up on the shoulders of the Kohen. The Torah tells us that on each of the shoulder straps there was a stone engraved with 6 of the names of the 12 Shvatim of Klal Yisrael. Both here in Parshas Pekudei and also in Parshas Tetzaveh, these stones are described as Avnei Zikaron, stones of remembrance. But the Torah doesn't really tell us or describe to us to whom really they're supposed to be a remembrance for. Rashi offers an explanation that the stones were meant to be a remembrance for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That when the Kohen Gadol would enter the Mishkan or the Beis HaMikdash in order to do the Avodah, HaKadosh Baruch Hu would see the stones Kiviyachol and be reminded of the tzidkus of the 12 Shvatim, and B'schusam he would be Mekabel, he would receive and accept the Avodah of the Kohen Gadol, and there would be a kapara for the Avonos of Klal Yisrael. The Meshech Chachma, on the other hand, takes a very different approach. He suggests that the Zikaron here is not for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, but is actually for Klal Yisrael. The point of the Avnei Zikaron was that Klal Yisrael should realize that when the Kohen Gadol goes to do the Avodah in the Beis HaMikdash, he's not just doing it on his own. He is there as the representative of Klal Yisrael. And it's not just him who's having an encounter with HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the Avodah of the Mishkan, but him being a representative of all of them, they too were having an encounter with HaKadosh Baruch Hu every day during the Avodah. The Meshech Chacham brings the Gemara in Sota on Daf Lamed Vav that describes the story of Yosef and Eshes Potifar, and tells us that when Yosef was about to succumb to sinning with Eshes Potifar, he saw Dmus Yukno Shel Aviv, he saw an image of his father, and his father said to him, know that there's going to be the names of all the Shvatim, your brothers, etched onto the stones on the shoulders of the Kohen Gadol. Would you like your name to be erased from those stones? And at that point, Yosef was able to withdraw and withhold himself and not to do the Aveira. The idea of the Avnei Zikaron was that Klal Yisrael should realize they were having an encounter with the Kadosh Baruch Hu, and that would be a great source for them of Yirah Shamayim, that knowing how could it be that we're having this encounter, we're meeting with the Kadosh Baruch Hu every day, and yet we're going to sin against him. Nowadays, we no longer have the Mishkan, we no longer have the Avodah, we don't have the Avnei Zikaron. But the idea behind them is certainly still applicable in Tefillah. 3 times a day, we have a direct encounter with Kadosh Baruch Hu. We meet him in Tefillah, we speak to him, and if we would just internalize exactly what's going on when we are mispal those 3 times a day, that we're really speaking to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and we're meeting with him, and he's listening to us, that too could be a major source of Yirah Shamayim. How could we do Averos and then face the person who we're doing the Averos against? Wishing you all a very good Shabbos.